everybody. Today is August 5th, and it's been a little while since I've put out a video. For the last 3 weeks, I guess, I have been out of town. And so, well, I have to show you. My garden has not fared well. It's been 3 weeks to about a month. I went on to summer camp with the youth in my church, all the way up in the Sonora Mountains near Yosemite. And we were there for a week, and then immediately the week following that, I had VBS, or Vacation Bible School, at church. And so my garden is so embarrassing. It's a little windy, and I hope you can hear me above all the wind noise, but here it is. I have been what Lead Farmer 73 calls a deadbeat gardener. I have not been out here tending to my garden at all. Not only did I have camp 1 week, and then the whole following week I had VBS at church, but then I was also sick. And I don't know exactly what I was sick with. All I know is I was drained, physically just drained. And so right now, I just want to catch you up to date on my garden. So as you can see right here, a lot of my corn is just dead. It's just dead. It's dried up, and I have these newer stalks right here that are growing, that are nice and green, but they're not the sweet corn that I originally planted. If you remember, these are the stalks of the corn that I took out of my chickens' feed to add to this bed to make up for some of the gaps of the sweet corn that went bad, or didn't germinate. So I've had a lot of issues with irrigation in this bed, and that's what killed this corn, is that my irrigation, it wasn't getting enough water. Corn loves water, and it wasn't getting enough water, and so it just died. The sweet corn died. I ordered some more seeds, so I'll be pulling out this corn and planting in the new corn that I just bought. But if you can see here, I'm happy to see that my sunflower, this is a mammoth sunflower. I thought I killed this one because the stem broke. When I was changing the water system in here, as you can see down here, there's a little, I don't know if you can see it, down here, there's a little elbow nail in it, I see, where it healed over. And but yeah, I was changing out this water system from these thin little tubes to this thicker tubing to try and get more water into this bed, and I broke this sunflower in half. So that's a good thing. It survived and repaired itself. My beans here, though, my yellow wax beans, all curled up and shriveled and dried up on here. There's a few down in there that could be harvested, I guess, but for the most part, I think these are just all shot. I'm gonna end up pulling the majority of this bed out and starting it over. This spaghetti squash here is doing way better. Right now it's hot. It's like 103 degrees. And so everything is just getting battered by some of the weather. The weather hasn't been as bad as it has been in the past. We haven't had a whole lot of high temps. Like usually July, we have a lot of, July and August is usually back-to-back triple-digit weather with no break. And so far we've had just a lot of 90s weather, in the 90s, not so much in the triple digits. I think I see here I have some powdery mildew going on with this spaghetti squash right here. I'm gonna have to remedy that. These kind of just froze. They were growing well, and then all of a sudden they just stopped growing. And look at, there's mushrooms right here too. There's mushrooms all growing all around this area. I'll show you where there's some more inside the bed, but yeah, and my sunflowers right here are looking beat up, pretty beat up. There's bees still around them, but they're looking really weathered. This one is pretty. I like all the color that it has, but they're pretty weathered. This bed, pretty much, I'm gonna have to start it over. Here's my other mammoth sunflower. It's supposed to get way taller than this. This one was the only one I thought I salvaged. I'm really surprised that that second one over there survived. Oh well. I'm gonna really have to go through and on this pool, kiddie pool, raised bed, go through and weed it. It's all got a lot of weeds and stuff growing. I mean, I still have melons that are hanging in here and growing still. I got a melon here that's growing still. I got a cantaloupe that's growing over here still. That looks good. I got tomatoes that are starting to come out on these plants, but you can see that it's in need of some care. There's another melon over here too. I gotta pull out a lot of this weeds and grass and stuff and separate some more of those tomato plants out and replant them, transplant them somewhere else. This is the green sausage tomato plant. As you can see, okay, first of all, it's very windy right here. It's always this way in the high desert. It's always windy, and the way that my yard is positioned, the wind just funnels through. We're at the end of a cul-de-sac, so the wind just funnels through here. And so these tomato cages that I made out of the twigs was not strong enough to handle the wind. So I'll eventually have to buy metal tomato cages. But yeah. Oh, and this is really neat. I don't know if this is something that can be seen on film. I like when the sun hits the leaves. It shows like a goldish sheen on the leaves. I think it's so pretty. Anyways, these are the green sausage tomatoes, and I have a lot of them that seem to be ready, but they have blossom end rot on the end, so I'll be giving these to my chickens. There's a lot of them that are like this, and I think they're pretty susceptible to this issue, getting the end rot like this. And so I was pretty excited, thinking, oh yeah, I can finally try these and see. They're supposed to be a lot bigger in size too. Now there are some that don't have that end rot on them yet, so when those finish ripening, then I'll finally get a chance to really try them. But until then, all of these I'm gonna have to give to my chickens. And I'm gonna have to cut back this plant, prune it down a little bit, so it's got a lot of green. It needs some more open airflow to it. But anyways, my onions aren't doing so well either, if you can see those. Everything in this bed is not doing that well because of the water issue that I had, and then I haven't been here to really tend to it. All my beans, I think my beans are ready to be harvested here. And my cantaloupe is just going crazy. It's just growing all through here and going crazy. But I think I lost part of it, or one of my cantaloupe plants. I can see all those brown leaves in there. Something is not getting watered over here. And it's funny because this is all dry, a dry patch right here. And then all this is green right here. And that's the problem that I'm having, is that these tubes aren't watering the way that they should. It almost makes me want to go back to just using the sprinkler heads that I took out of here, because at least I knew then that everything was getting watered. So I don't know. The decisions I have to make for next season, I guess. Oh, here's some of those mushrooms I was saying. A whole bunch of mushrooms growing in here. And they're big. Mushrooms aren't bad for the garden. In fact, they let you know that your soil is pretty rich, that it has a lot of stuff to things in it that is decaying, that it breaks down and stuff. So mushrooms in itself, oh, I have a melon. It's not a bad thing. I have a melon right there. You know, sometimes when I'm trying to finish my thought, things just be popping up that I hadn't even noticed. So here's a melon growing right here. I don't even know what plant. I guess that's from this one. From over here. I think that's a sugar baby. The label got rinsed off, so I can't even tell you what it is. Orange tender sweet. That's what that's gonna be, an orange tender sweet. That's kind of cool. This is my first time coming out here and actually looking in my garden. I got a lot of stuff still growing, which is good, but a lot has died. So I'm gonna have to go through and see what's salvageable. These happen to be all beans, so I should be able to hopefully pull some beans out of there. I don't know. This tomato seems to be doing all right. This tomato seems to be doing all right. These tomatoes, that whole group of tomatoes that's growing right here, seems to be doing all right, putting on flowers and stuff. These other melons seem to be doing okay for now. This one is looking kind of weepy because of the heat that's going on right now. It's so hot. Even though it's windy, it's hot. This sunflower is not doing so good. And it had really pretty colors on its flowers, but the wind is just, not the wind, the heat is just tearing it up. There's a couple of more sunflowers growing up right here. So hopefully those will continue to do well. These tomatoes are so close together and I needed to separate them. But it looks like this one is trying to die off. I'm gonna have to see. Maybe I'll just clip that one out since it's sickly and just let the other one stay and continue to do good by itself. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that. I did plant some melons over on this side, but nothing has come up, so I'm gonna have to try again next year on those. I see my hollyhock is making a comeback here. Oh, and I guess Cornelia is doing okay since she left me a little deposit right here. It's too hot for her to be out right now, but she was probably out earlier today. Left me a little deposit. Okay. Oh, let's see if I can get this on the video. It's a gold sheen that the sun the sunlight reflects off of these tomato leaves, and it's just so pretty. And when I take pictures of it, it looks like glitter. And some people on a group that I'm in said, oh, it looks like bugs. You got bugs. It's not bugs, it's just the sheen that's reflecting off of the hairs that are on the leaves and on the stems. But anyways, I have tomatoes here too. And these are pink brandywine. Let's see. I can go back over here. This one, see, the wind broke this all down. So this tomato cage is not really being effective right now. But I got all these tomatoes. These are the Lucid Gem tomato. It's on this one. So that's good. I have to get all that grass out of here from growing in there. The weeds and grasses just took over everything. Okay, this bed, my little tomatoes down here are just being drowned out by this grass. And so is my my squash here. The squash is not doing too good. It keeps looking like it's drying out. So I don't know. Looks like it's dying on me. There's a squash over there, a yellow squash I need to harvest. But all of this doesn't look good at all. No. I hate to see it all like this. Even my onions are dying out on me. This is all new tubing that I put in here, and it still isn't watering the way that it should. I'm gonna have to come out here and hand water and try and revive everything. There's another tomato plant. I'm gonna have to take this celery out finally. I was trying to wait for the seeds, but man, all the seeds already fell off. So I'm gonna have to just pull that out and plant some new stuff. The cucumber is trying to take over its spot right now. Here's another brandywine. This one is not brandywine. This one is Kellogg breakfast tomato. It has some stems, empty stems over there, so it looks like I might have had a worm on here, a hornworm. I gotta really look for him. He's not gonna be out right now because it's hot. I'm gonna have to come back out here and look for him so I can get him off of here. But these are huge, especially this one down here. Oh, there's another one that opened up right next to it. It's huge. This is my first time growing this kind of tomato, so I'm anxious to see how it's gonna taste. I gotta cut some of these bad stems off and get it back to good health. Try to, at least. And my cucumber is kind of drowning out some other things that I have growing here, like these Tigger melons. Like this Tigger melon is drowned out. I see this right here was it's still there. Cuca melon that I planted. It's still there. I just gotta try and get this cucumber going up on the trellis here. I don't know if there's any cucumbers in there that are ready. I see a lot of flowers though. I'm gonna have to cut back this cucumber a little bit to expose the flowers a little bit more, and also so I can see what's going on in there. These Tigger melons aren't doing so hot now since the heat set in. And I don't think they're getting watered that well, so I'm gonna have to hand water all of this. These cucamelon though is taking off. It's going up the trellis here, so that's good, I guess. Oh, that one even produced a little bit of a cucumber right there. But it's already past its prime. I have to take that off. My cucumber plant right here is died. And this one looks sickly. And it has this little cucumber here hanging. I'm glad to see that this tomato plant that I transplanted over here is doing well. I had to take out the I just had to add a tomato plant to this container because every time I tried to grow a tomato in there, something in the soil ate it up. Okay, so these tomatoes aren't looking great. They're not looking too horrible either. This one I'm gonna have to do some love and care to. I'm gonna have to fertilize him. He's sharing this space with this watermelon plant right here that just volunteered itself in here. And this, I don't know what this one is. Maybe it's a cantaloupe or something, I don't know. The same thing over here. This one volunteered inside of this pot too, so, and it's growing fine. It's growing, it's happy growing with that tomato. Oh, this one put on baby tomatoes. Oh, look at that. Those are long. I think those are Roma tomatoes. Maybe, or yeah, they have to be Roma tomatoes. Or San Marzano tomatoes, maybe. Huh. My lemon tree is doing really nice. I'm about to do an air layer on it so I can form a whole nother tree, hopefully. My apples, oh, I noticed another apple fell off. Let me see if that one's good. All my apples are pretty much done on this tree here. Let me go around. Since I haven't been out here, I haven't been keeping up with what's been falling off, and the birds and the critters has been getting to it. Yeah, see, look. Something got to that one after it fell off. I'll just end up giving it to my chickens. And I guess that's it for apple season. Well, there's some more apples growing on the top of this one up here. Look like some more apples are forming, and I still have that one right there. But yeah. Okay. That's apples. This is my Honeycrisp apple. It didn't do anything this year. But we'll see for next year. Let me go back this way. Okay, so here's the real challenge. Not that that's already not challenge enough, but I have my pomegranate tree, and it does have some fruit on it that you can see on this side. Let's see if I can get to where you can see there's some fruit, but it's so overgrown that I'm gonna have to cut it way back again. It's so overgrown. I wasn't expecting it to grow so crazy like that. So I'm gonna have to prune it back. I got a lot of work cut out for me. This used to be my carrot box here. As you can see, I still have that carrot that flowered sitting right here because I was going to take the seeds off of it. This is my potato box right back here. I still have potatoes that are growing. and a tomato plant that popped up in here too. Tomato plant. I was supposed to take him out. I still got to take him out, and I think I will still take that tomato plant out. And I think I'm going to pull all these potatoes too and start over. I had just cleared this side of the potato patch, and look at all the grass just took over. You can't even see the cabbage and stuff that was here. I don't even know if the cabbages are still here, or if they're still good, or if they formed heads, or did the bugs eat them all out, or I don't even know. This is all overgrown. It's just crazy. I had a bucket back there with grapes in it, container with grapes in it. Here's my cherry tomato. Well, something got to that tomato there, but all of these are it's loaded with tomatoes, and they're all ripening and stuff, and it's just spilling over out of this bed. But the tomato plant itself don't look all that great. It looks like there's a lot of dry areas on it, so I'm gonna have to see about what's going on with this plant. I can finally pull out this what is it, chard plant right here. I can finally pull it out because the seeds on it started falling off already. I'm gonna have to pull this out so I can harvest the seeds off of there. And then these bean plants are just going crazy in here. Just crazy. So I don't know. I have to get in here and get that stuff done. There's a lot of work. My chickens are gonna have a lot of stuff to do. Okay, so something is eating on my peaches here. I guess my peaches are ready because something already started helping itself to them. So I'm gonna have to harvest all my peaches off before the birds handle all of my peaches for me. I really don't want that. I want to be able to eat my peaches or make some peach cobbler or something with them. So I'm gonna have to take these off soon, harvest them. I'll probably work on harvesting a lot of stuff tomorrow and then start picking all these grasses. Now before we left, I had my son pull all this grass out of this side of the bed, and it looks like he didn't do anything because it's all back. It's all grown back in here. And believe it or not, there are some bean plants down in here, but you can't even see them. My beets are getting choked out by these grasses too. My strawberries are done. They haven't produced anything more. They're just growing all kinds of runners. I mean, they filled in pretty well. The spiders took over them. And whatever this flowering plant is right here. And then this one, the strawberries just died in here, and now the grasses is taking over. So I'm gonna have to pull all that out and get it started over. Then there's this side of the bed. Man, everything just grew overgrown in here. Bean plants is all tall, and grasses is all tall, and another volunteer tomato right here. These peaches though, these peaches look like they're about ready. I'm gonna pull these off and let them finish ripening in the house while they're nice and firm, I guess, before the birds get to this ones. Yeah. And moving on down this way, I got carrots. I got a lot of carrots in here. This is a volunteer tomato plant that popped up in here. Oh, I see one of my pepper plants popped up. That's good. I don't know what this plant is. I really don't know what that is. I didn't plant it. I'm gonna have to come through and find some stuff to do with these carrots, because some of them are drying out and dying. Like right here, you see? It's drying up. I don't want that. I want them to continue. I got some ripe tomatoes back here. This is a volunteer tomato plant. It's loaded with tomatoes too. This one, I didn't even plant it. It volunteered itself, but it's already growing out of control. This one is a cherry tomato, I believe. Let me grab these. That one just split open right now. Okay, so as you can see, I got a lot to clean up and do. Clear out. I got some new seeds to plant. Okay, let me go over here. See what's over here. Okay. Let's see. That cucumber is still alive. Cucumber plant back here. I didn't think it would be. There's not much really in here. I planted that bean plant right here. And I have catnip growing crazy in here. I think I got some sort of sunflowers popping up in here too. My leeks are all dying out. I guess I could try and take advantage of the seed pods that's on here before they get all over the place. Look at that. And then this is a Hungarian heart tomato plant. I see it's doing pretty good. I didn't even put wood chips in that one. Oops. My grapes. Grapes are doing okay. I see the critters ate my cluster that was right there. I had a cluster on there, but the birds got to it, I guess. As soon as stuff gets ripe, sweet, I don't even think they're capable of tasting sweet. But they sure do know when stuff is ready to eat. All of my peppers right here, some of them not doing as good. That one is not doing as good. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to give everybody some extra water, and for whatever reason my watering system is not working well. Pull all these grasses out, plant some more stuff in there. So, oh well, I suppose. I guess that's just the way it goes. It's been a real tough growing season. So weird, just with the weird weather, with all the rain that we've had and stuff. I can't say hot because it hasn't been as hot as it normally would be. Normally we would be having, every day would be triple digits, and it's not like that. Even now, today is the hottest day that we're gonna have, and then the days like tomorrow's supposed to be 101, and the next day 100, and then it goes down. The coolest day is going to be 94 degrees, and then it's going to go back up into the hundreds again. And usually it doesn't do that. Usually it stays pretty much triple digits straight on, and we end up spending a lot of money on electricity during this time. But yeah, had something really sad happen while I was the night that I came back from camp. You can see it on the, let me see if I can get in close on this black and white one here. All my chickens were sleeping in their coop, and all of a sudden I hear all this screaming, and I thought maybe it was a person screaming outside, but it turned out it was my chickens screaming because raccoon was attacking them inside their coop, and it tried to pull this black and white one right here. It tried to pull her out through the back of the coop through an opening, a small opening, and it just managed to get a fistful of feathers, and so she's got a chunk missing of feathers, and it was bloody and raw for a little bit, but it got better. I haven't had to do much to it, but the little black chicken in the back here, her sister was taken, snatched right out of the coop. She was taken, and it was probably all that screaming that I heard was the raccoon pulling her. By the time I got outside to try and investigate, it was already too late. So yeah, she was my Ayam Samani chicken, which, if anybody knows anything about chickens, if you know anything about chickens, you know those chickens are pretty expensive. I probably could have got about $100 for her if I sold her, but right now we have a quarantine going on in my area because of Newcastle disease, a chicken disease, so we can't even sell, buy, trade, give away free anything chicken. No chicks, nothing. Nobody if I try and order out of state, they won't even deliver here, ship it here. So I'm just trying to wait it out. But yeah, I was gonna sell her, but the raccoons got her, so yeah. And that was pretty sad for me because her and her sister were Christmas gift, and actually my daughter had bought me about 4 of them, and out of the 4, only 2 were hens, and the other, well, there was 5 altogether, but one died, and the other 2 were roosters. So yeah. But anyways, this is my garden. This is my mess, and I guess I am a deadbeat gardener right now. Everything is just so overgrown and just crazy. I'm gonna work in the next week to get it all cleared out, get some new stuff planted, get some things going, so hopefully I can end this season with some good growth on some stuff. I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime real soon, so I can show all my attention, give all my attention to my garden. But I will be posting up some videos in between here, just to update certain things and to show certain things and stuff, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I know right now it looks like a hot mess. Literally, it's hot and it's messy, but I'm gonna work on getting it back together and getting it in order. You know, it just shows you that everything seems all nice. People usually show the best parts of stuff, and well, I'm showing you the worst of what I've got so far. Not all of us are perfect or good at gardening. Not all of us have the time always. You know, vacations come up and things happen, and you know, I try not to feel guilty, but I mean, I still am sad at the state that my garden is in. But I'll get it together. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. Click like, share the videos. Continue to check back with me. See what's new. See what's going on. What stuff I'm replacing some of this stuff with. And as always, God bless.